What's going on, y'all? It is Cheeks. I'm standing up this time because sitting down while I do this makes me feel like I'm sitting in a job interview and I get kind of awkward. And also just generally a fidgety person. But today I kind of want to talk about the subject of burnout, specifically MMO burnout, but probably going to touch on burnout in other areas of life and hobbies as well. Um, I'm kind of doing this due to a comment I got on the last video, which made me realize that that specifically is what that entire video was about. I just didn't really apply the term burnout to how I was feeling. But yeah, in the last video, I talked a little bit about how I was stepping away from MMOs and I felt really apathetic towards the genre as a whole due to what I view as just a lack of innovation and a very repetitive formulaic approach to MMOs that all of them do, and they've kind of just copied each other. And that doesn't mean that I'm not coming back to MMOs ever. I'm just kind of waiting for something that is a bit of a disruptor to the genre, something new. I thought Ashes of Creation was going to be that. The alpha stuff has made me a little bit skeptical, but we'll see what happens. Maybe they knock my dick off at some point. So first I want to talk about how burnout can happen, and not in work, which is what we always talk about, but in a hobby. So I have a pretty obsessive personality. I think most MMO players do. I don't think it's a coincidence that your average MMO gamer spends like 8 hours a day playing their MMO of choice. I feel like it's evident what I'm going to say, but doing something that much, you're destined for burnout. When you put all your eggs in one basket and you expect one game to satisfy you for that many hours a day, and you want to be able to play that game every day, there's just not a game on this earth that can do that within a reasonable price and budget, mind you. Like, to actually cater to the average MMO gamer's needs, you probably need a development studio with like fucking 20,000 people getting paid like 300 grand a year that have to work in fucking shifts, night shifts every fucking night. Like, it's not possible. There's no game that can shovel out that much content. So you have the classic conundrum of expectations not being met. I have a friend who frequently says, and I've taken this to heart, expectations are just premeditated resentments. When he told me that, it was kind of supposed to be applied to of other people. So in a relationship context, whether it be a friendship or a girlfriend, boyfriend, wife, husband, whatever. But I think it works in gaming as well. And obviously asking a consumer not to have expectations of a product is ridiculous. Like, we should have expectations. But I think in the MMO instance, it kind of makes sense of like, if I expect an MMO to provide me with unending, endless content that somehow has quality, I am asking to be disappointed. You kind of have to choose. Do you want quality content or do you want a lot of slop that's just going to keep you busy? I think MMOs as a genre has gone in the direction of a lot of slop that's just designed to keep you busy. So naturally, this is going to lead to burnout because I'm literally consuming slop for 4 hours a night after work. Not the best move. So what can I do to avoid that situation? Play other games. And I don't mean play other MMOs, although you could. Like, I know some people are just like, they're diehard MMO fans. They're not going to play anything else. But they have Final Fantasy for story and rating. They have World of Warcraft for immersive open world and like kind of ambient lore scattered around. Also Mythic Dungeons, because like Final Fantasy's dungeons suck. And then they've got like Elder Scrolls Online or Guild Wars or Black Desert for PvP. I know that there's a PvP scene in WoW, but like, you need a PhD and fucking a brain transplant to be able to play that shit. And or just be playing for like 25 years or however long that game's been out. So some people do that, but for me, the solution has been, well, there's been a two-pronged approach. One prong is within gaming. I have backed away from being a mono genre type of guy. I used to pretty much exclusively play MMOs, and it was very hard for me to sit down and play games I used to love, like Skyrim or Tainted Grail Fall of Avalon is one I've been playing lately that I've been really liking, but I tried multiple times when I was like deep in the MMO addiction and just couldn't get into it because there was no grind and there was no other people to play with. It's a single player story RPG. So yeah, backed away a little bit and started playing multiple genres. So that's kind of keeping things hopefully fresh for me. It's worked in the past. This time I've just kind of burnt out. I went on a really hard MMO binge this time. So I'm not even touching MMOs. In the past, I've just kind of broadened my horizons and started playing multiple games. So like I'll play Monster Hunter for 2 hours and then hop on and play my MMO for an hour or two. Or like play an MMO for an hour or two and then fucking hop on Monster Hunter an hour or two, whatever. Right now I'm just kind of bouncing around playing a lot of different games. I'm in another Pokemon binge. Monster Hunter Wilds is about to come out, and that is gonna be my all-consuming obsession for a hot minute. That's how it always is. I fucking just binge those games until there's nothing left to do. And yeah, I've been exploring pixel-based RPGs because the new Pokemon game fucking bummed me out so much. I didn't like the 3D format. I didn't like the open world format. I missed the linear routes and turn-based goodness that JRPGs are kind of known for. So I went and started playing other JRPGs. Yeah, so Burnout, MMOs, play other game genres. I think the more intense issue is burnout in gaming. I think that's one that people kind of struggle with in general, and it happens because of MMOs, which is what happened to me sort of this time. I think it can happen to anyone in any genre. If you're like hardcore RTS fan, hardcore JRPG fan, whatever it is, you can burn out. Things can start to feel samey. Reason being, you're going to the same place and doing the same activity every day. That's not like, you need variety. You can't just sit down and do the same thing every day. I mean, some people can. I can't. Also, I have ADHD. I'm a hyperactive dude. I'm literally standing up right now because I can't sit still when I talk to the camera. It makes me nervous. I get all fucking stiff and shit. But yeah. So, solution to that, have a broad range of hobbies. Not too broad a range, because then you're not going to like actually be able to properly like get immersed in and enjoy something. But let's say for me, so like I don't really count lifting as a hobby. That's just like lifting, running is me taking care of myself. But I started getting into surfing 2 years ago. Not done it very much because I got a shoulder injury from jiu-jitsu, but that was kind of the trade-off. So I stopped doing jiu-jitsu and stuff because also like sure that there's quite a few of you. I feel like jiu-jitsu's become quite the thing now. I started doing Muay Thai and then I started doing jiu-jitsu instead of Muay Thai because I'd gotten a lot of concussions because surprise, surprise, like my big ass head, I'm not very good at not getting hit. But got a shoulder injury. So I had to stop surfing for a little bit. And I've just recently gotten over said shoulder injury. So I'm getting back in the water now and getting back at learning surfing. And I've just decided to stop doing jiu-jitsu because it's expensive and fucks my body up a lot. So surfing, that's one hobby. Another one, Warhammer. It's dog shit. But I've started to paint these little fucking dudes. I don't know if you can see. It's all right. Fucking my camera doesn't autofocus, but I promise it's cool. This is one of the fantasy ones, but I kind of normally I like fantasy, but for whatever reason with Warhammer 40k, the lore just hits different. So started trying to get into the fantasy and then immediately was like, nah, dude, I want the 40k. So I got a box of Black Templar Sword Brethren over there. And then I did some Chaos Space Marines recently. That's another one. Anime is the other one. So this is made like a conglomeration of hobbies. All of them stay fresh for me because I rotate between them. I don't get bored with one because if I start feeling like one's getting a little bit old or I need a break, like say I spend a day out surfing, I come in, my body is fucking exhausted. I'm sunburnt. I'm tired. I'm salty. Dude, getting home after that, taking a shower, and then putting on like sweats and a hoodie and sitting down to game is the best feeling ever. It feels like I just earned my fucking chill time. Or like say that it's Saturday afternoon, it's raining out. I sit down at the dining table, get all the sprigs out, start putting together the Warhammer, paint it all day, and then I sit down, watch anime, and then I game. Like, that is a peak day. And what I found is that if I have a day where I do 3 different things I really like doing, one of them being gaming, I feel great. If I have a day where I game for 8 hours, do nothing else, by the end of that day, I felt like I just blinked and the day flew by. I barely remember what happened. I didn't have that much fun in the game because like my brain just goes like, it's like the normal activity just flatlines and I'm just consuming. So if you kind of have similar feelings, you feel like you've been in a rut for a while and you're just getting on and repeating the same thing day after day with whatever genre you're into, then maybe try doing what's worked for me and just mix it up a little bit. You could try doing a different hobby. You could try maybe Warhammer, painting Warhammer, or try getting into Magic, or just try leaning heavier into a different hobby that you already have. And then within gaming in particular, maybe just either take a break or decrease the amount of time you spend doing your particular genre of choice. Like if you are an MMO gamer like myself, then maybe spend less time per day playing your MMO and spend more time a day checking out other games in other genres. Like, I think a lot of people got a nice little break when Elden Ring came out. A lot of people that were playing Black Desert, which was the MMO I was playing at the time, took a break and went and played that. Or PoE 2 was another one that a lot of BDO players kind of took off for and checked out. I think just mixing it up, that variety, will make each individual hobby and your enjoyment of that thing enhanced because it's less repetitive because you're not doing it as much. Or if you're like I was and you're just absolutely fed up with things, there is the ultimate trump card to get yourself back into something, and that's to take a break. There's the age-old saying, absence makes the heart grow fonder. If you want to enjoy something again, just take a break from it for a couple months, and at least take a break from it for a long enough time that you kind of forget all of the tropey crap that it's been recycling over and over again, so that way you can eat the slop when you come back and it feels somewhat new. There's a bit more novelty. You can kind of clutch that back. And my initial point, I think, still stands. I think MMOs in particular, it has stagnated. There isn't innovators in the genre, but like I'm willing to try any new game. I saw a lot of people recommend Guild Wars 2, and I have tried to get into that one. I think I'd get held up on the art style, but I do believe that the game systems are probably pretty good, and I would likely enjoy it if I did give it a shot. But I think one thing that I'm hoping for, and I didn't play World of Warcraft when it came out, I've just heard about it, but I'm hoping for another Blizzard situation where someone comes in, they've got balls of steel, and they do something that hasn't been done before. And it takes the world by storm. I don't think we'll ever have a game that is quite as meteoric on its rise as World of Warcraft was, or has quite the cultural impact. But it was radically different, man. People were fucking like, that was, I mean, shit, it was in the news cycle. So yeah, for the time being, like I've just kind of become a variety gamer, and ideally I think I'll try and stay that way. I don't think I'm ever going to be a full-on MMO junkie again unless a game comes out that's like mind-blowing shit. But I think in all likelihood we're going to continue to get the same basic framework of the theme park MMO, with the occasional sand park or outright sandbox game that no one plays because I'm the only like fucking the enjoyers of that type of genre, myself included, are definitely the minority. So yeah, I mean, there's some games on the horizon. I've heard one person commented on my last video mentioning Warframe, and I do think I want to try that, but Monster Hunter Wild is going to be the focus for me. That's coming out end of month, and then probably the focus of my channel for as long as I am just balls to the wall in the game. And then I think after that I probably will give Warframe a go. Yeah, so thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Really appreciated all the support on the last video. I'm gonna keep at it. See y'all next time.